Little Rock head coach Chris Curry, second year for this team in the OVC, picked the preseason favorites. Coach, just what are your just general thoughts on your team? And I know it's just a poll, but being picked first in the preseason poll as well.
Well, it's a different spot than our program has probably ever been in. I don't know that we've ever been picked to win a league. And so we're thankful and appreciative to the other members in the league for the nod. We have a lot of respect for our opponents. It's a very tough league. It was last year. It will be this year. We knew that coming in, having been familiar with a lot of the opponents. But I think it's a good indicator of where we are. Most importantly, it's about our players. And it's a nod to them and the hard work that they've done and how hard our program has worked to get into this position.
I know it's a lot. I don't know the exact number. How many players are you returning versus how many newcomers you have on the team this year?
Yeah, so last year we had 27 newcomers. This year we have 25 returners. And along with that, we have probably only about 10 newcomers. A stat that we've kind of dug up, we return 84% of our innings on the mound and 96% of our at-bats. And so what that means on paper is you've got a mature team that's been through the league, that's been through Division I baseball and understands what's ahead of them. They've been to the tournament. They're familiar with our opponents. But most importantly, the word we've been talking about around here is trust. We trust these guys to lead the team from the locker room. We trust these guys to maintain the standard, to hold each other accountable, the way we play the game. And our goal for the end of the year is to win a championship and get to a regional, which hasn't been done around Little Rock since 2011.
What do you think? And obviously, experience is going to be one. What are the strengths of your team? What do you like best, maybe besides outside all those returners?
Well, I think there's more depth. And one area where we probably were thin was the bullpen depth. Getting the ball to Jacob Weatherly, getting the ball to Austin Stubber. We probably overextended them a little bit too many times down the stretch. Asked them to go 2 innings instead of 1, asked them to go 3 innings instead of 2 in a setup role. And we went out and made sure that we found guys who were able to hold a lead in the 6th, in the 7th, in the 8th to get the ball to the 9th, or maybe even finish the game where we don't have to use our designated closer who, everybody on our team points to Jacob Weatherly to try to get the ball to. But I think it's a two-headed monster down there with Stubber as well. The obvious starter and catalyst for the whole thing is Jackson Wells on Friday going first. It's a 27-inning weekend. And if Jackson can eat up, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those first 27 innings, that's a domino effect for the other 2 starters on Saturday, Sunday. And then it shortens your bullpen. Everyone's fresh. And it's just nice to have Jackson and other guys back.
That transition's nice to my next question. Obviously, Jackson led the Division I in ERA. What did you expect from him going into the season? Did he exceed those expectations? And then how does he take it to the next step this year?
Well, he exceeded all expectations. Jackson was not a top 100 player recruit. He was just a hard worker. He was the best July signee we've ever had. We looked at our roster and felt like we were thin on the mound still. We were just looking for a strike thrower with command of a breaking ball, and he was from Rogers, Arkansas. We had tracked him out of high school. He was at South Ark Community College, Rich Mountain, and got him in here in July. Saw him throw summer ball, evaluated him, offered him, and then 3 weeks later he's on campus. And then all he did from his first outing in the fall till all the way through last May was just get everybody out, and we kept running him out there. But what you love about Jackson is through all of this attention, and he's no secret anymore, is he hasn't changed a bit. He hasn't changed his work ethic. I don't know if his heart rate has gotten above 60 beats per minute. He's just a flat line, show up, work hard every day type guy. He went off this summer and tried to work on cleaning up his delivery a little bit, being more efficient, not necessarily chasing velocity, but just his ability to repeat and the longevity of 15, 16, 17 starts throughout the year.
How much, and with pitching can he attribute to his success? But the people behind you, you obviously play good defense behind him, and then you were timely. How does that all connect to, make sure his ERA is at 1.68 or 1.65 for the year?
Yeah, that's going to be tough to repeat, especially as teams, have more video on him, prepare for him, as hitters around the league have faced him and seen him 3 or 4 times, maybe 8 times if they played him in the tournament. But good pitchers learn how to reinvent themselves. Maybe they add a new pitch. Maybe they do things a little differently. But many teams, when you watch them play, they say, hey, they play a lot better when their guy is on the mound. They're a lot tougher when their guy is on the mound. And I'd like to think we play the same way no matter who's on the mound. But to be realistic, there's just a confidence when we sprint out of the dugout on a Friday with him on the mound. You know that he's going to attack the zone. The fielders know that there's going to be action, whether it be strikes or put the ball in play. Everybody's in tune. Everybody's confident. You've got, and we'll talk about it, the position side in a minute, but you've got so many mature players backing him. So it goes both ways. Jackson can throw the ball over the plate and know that Tyler Williams is going to track the ball down in center. Or Skylar Trevino and Alex Seguin in the middle are going to turn the double play for him, or Nico is going to catch one on the hot corner there. So it kind of all feeds on itself with good players, but it starts. And then Jake Wright, who's the catalyst behind the plate and the team leader. He won our Foxhole Award by a landslide, most votes, and that's voted by the players. So there's good leadership there.
Yeah, tell us about that offense and those position players. And obviously, they were ones who were first or second team selections who made the preseason team this year, who just really made an impact for your team in the first year in the OVC.
Yeah, it starts with Tyler Williams. He's going to rewrite all of the program records by the time he's done. He's been a starter. He's a super senior or a COVID senior, whatever you want to term it. He's going to rewrite all the program records for his career. He's one of the most electric players in the league, meaning a true kind of 5-tool guy. Can run, can play the outfield defense, hit for power, change the game with his speed. So he's there in center. Luke Pechtel was the top 5 hitter in left. Ty Rhodes in right was a all freshman team. Then of course Nico Bomba at third base led the league in hitting. You have Alex Seguin, a steady gloved shortstop who actually was a lot better offensively than we thought he was going to be when we recruited him. Skylar Trevino at second for turning 15 home runs. And then Brewer at first base, who was playing with a left labrum tear in his shoulder, still led us in doubles with basically one arm. But now we feel like his power is back since he's gotten surgery. Don't forget Christian Burnaby, who stepped in for us and was a 300 hitter. He'll also find time at first base and DH. At catcher, Jake Wright, and then Trey Hill, a freshman, had a huge home run on the road for us at an OVC weekend last year, and did a great job. That catching core, we added Joey Adge. Graydon Martin tied the game in the 9th inning with a pinch hit. So that catching room is an outstanding room, along with some other guys that are going to help as well. Pickering, Jackson Anderson, other Reed Wilbanks is healthy this year. Ben Harmon, just a gamer. And so, and then Eddie Rosales, a middle infielder we've added out of California, can help with some infield depth. So love that position player group. A lot of heavy competition. We're going to try to find a way to get everybody at bats.
What is the one thing that your team can do to put itself in position to win the OVC championship this year?
I think, Kyle, it goes back to the pitching depth. We were good on the front end. We were good on the back end. It's that 6th, 7th, and 8th inning of getting the ball from the starter to the closers or the guys that are trying to finish the game. If we can have guys that will fill in right there in those mid, or a Tuesday start, or not even throw a main bullpen guy on a Tuesday to save him for the weekend, and match up better. We got a couple of left-handers in Kirkendall and Royal that we feel like out of the pen we're going to be able to bring in. Side armor Beasley, that's an Australian kid. So many options that we feel like in 3 to 6 out stints are going to be able to match up and get us through the lineup that third to fourth time, like I said, to get the ball to Weatherly to finish.
We'll end on a two-parter here, just about the OVC in general. Obviously, you were all the new kids in the block last year. Now,
Right.
Western Illinois is this year. But how do you see it now? 10 teams. How do you sort of see everything playing out? And just I guess also what did you learn last year after you went through a full OVC season?
Well, we came in with our eyes wide open. No one surprised us. We knew it was going to be a very tough baseball league. We were familiar already with it's well coached, first of all. I have great respect for the coaching room. They're forward thinking and wanting to be at the forefront of college baseball. They coach their teams well. They prepare well. Their teams play hard. I think the OVC very much hinges on where a series is played. Each venue is very difficult to play on the road. And that's a credit to the programs and the coaches. They've created an environment that's tough for a visiting team. And so as you look at the schedule, I think it's important to pay attention to where a series is being played. But you watch in the non-conference, I believe the first 4 weekends, you'll see OVC teams beating higher ranked teams, higher, RPI teams. And then teams that we've added, we're familiar with. Their schools are funding baseball. Their presidents and athletic directors are supporting it. And I very much expect those guys to jump right in the mix and be tough from top to bottom, which is what we want to be as a league, and eventually try to get, back, to be in a 2-bid league, both with the overall winner in the tournament and the RPI. But looking forward to competing against them, but not looking forward to it because everybody does such a great job and there's good players. We had draft picks out of the OVC. And so I just think it's a good, tough baseball league.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time this morning, and just best of luck to you and your team as you get this season going.
Thank you, Kyle. Looking forward to it. Go Trojans.